Hello, my name's Gavin Baker and I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and this is my assignment 2 for Coursera's Introduction to Music Production with Loudon Stearns. Today I'm going to go through recording a MIDI keyboard in GarageBand on the Mac. Thank you. When you first open GarageBand, you'll be presented with this new project window. Here, if you want to record a straight piano track using your keyboard, you can simply select the piano project type and then hit choose. Next, you can just give your project a name, so let's call this practice. And at this point we can choose a tempo and a key. Now, I often don't really know what sort of tempo I want to use until I'm started, so the big advantage is that we can change the tempo later once we start fleshing out the rhythm section, because it's a big advantage of MIDI in that you can easily retime the composition without affecting the sound quality at all. So we'll just leave that at 120 beats per minute for now. Let's choose D major for the key and hit create. Choosing the key doesn't actually matter for the purposes of what we're doing right today. It's only used by GarageBand to show you loops and samples that are recorded in that natural key. You can transpose them if you want. So here we are, we've got a new project. We have a track that's already been created for us with a default software instrument of a grand piano. So assuming we've plugged in our keyboard, then we can actually start playing straight away. We can always change the instrument later on if we wish. We need to check the metronome settings, so under the control menu, make sure that you have the metronome enabled. And then also, I find it very useful to have count in enabled. So this will give you 1 bar worth of counting in before it actually starts recording. Down the bottom here we have the transport controls. So we can play, record, rewind, go to the start, and here's our the number of measures and counts within the measure and the audio monitoring. So we're pretty much ready to start recording. One thing to point out, it's very useful, as Loudon mentions in the lectures, that it's very useful to know the shortcut keys. So space will toggle between start and stop playback, and the R key will start recording. So let's just hit the big red record button for now and start to record our little practice. Right, well, that was something in the key of D. Needs a lot more practice. Let's have a look what we recorded. So here we can see a zoomed out version of the piano scroll. If we hit this edit button here, we can see the piano roll here and all of the notes as we play through them, and as they correspond, the MIDI notes correspond to the keyboard messages. Now we can look at the score view as well and see that yeah, it probably was kind of sloppy, so let's fix it up a bit. Down here we can quantize it, and let's just pick, say, 16th notes and see how that sounds. It's not bad, it sounds a bit mechanical. What it's defaulted to is the maximum amount of quantization, and as Loudon says, you're better off starting off at a lower level, say about 20%, and then see how it feels, see how it sounds. Okay, that'll do. Let's try changing the instrument. So we might decide that we'd rather have some strings instead of the piano. And it's as simple as just choosing a different instrument here. The track actually gets renamed as well. And let's now hear how that sounds. Okay, well, it's a bit muddy, but you get the idea. Thanks for watching. Here's a summary.